Hello, everyone. Welcome to Unlocking the K-Wave, where this time we explore the global expansion of Korean beauty brands and their growing influence across Europe. So today we have very special guest, Johanna Rönkkö, CEO of Nordic Beauty Inc. Johanna has played a key role in bringing Korean beauty brands to the Nordic and European markets, helping them thrive and resonate with the customers. We are excited to hear her insights on market strategy, cultural adaptation, and future of K-beauty in Europe. Joanna, welcome. It's very great to have you here with us.
Thank you so much. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
yeah.
I'm
To
still
start,
trying to figure out how to get the video working. It's really weird that it doesn't work. I'm super sorry about that. I don't
no
know.
problem, no problem. So, as we know, Korean beauty products have taken the world by storm, and demand across the globe, and especially in Europe, it has been skyrocketing. So, what inspired you to introduce these brands to the Nordic and European markets?
When we started the Korean beauty in the Nordics and in Europe, it was 10 years ago approximately, and that time it was more like really global brands in the Nordics and in Europe, like we all know, like really global companies. And Korean brands were something super new, something really fun. Sheet
Yeah.
masks were not never there. That time Tony Moly was one of the biggest brands,
Mm.
like fun but still super good quality. It was um it was something exciting and new. I think that was the best part of it. And of course, like we have always looked upon Koreans and Japanese and with their skin, like how could they uh, how could their skin look and all that. So that's also, of course, was inspiring us to bring Korean products um, to Europe.
So, uh, as you know, that every market has a specific preference that they like certain type of products and are not fan of others. So, did you face any challenges in bringing Korean beauty product to a totally different audience? That is like 10 years back. Now we have everyone's going gaga about it, but what was it 10 years ago?
Yeah, it was uh, okay. 10 years ago, it was people didn't know, like most of the mainstream people in the Nordics used a moisturizer, maybe serum if we get lucky, but that's it. So the whole 11 or 10 or 9 steps that Koreans use was not, people were not familiar with it, and they thought first it's kind of too much, but now it's really common. All the, especially Gen Z millennials, they all use toner, they all use serum, obviously, moisturizers, essences, the whole set, and also sheet masks were not that familiar at that time. So, but now they are like part of, for many women, part of the everyday life and like a bit of luxury for every day. So so that was maybe one. But then I think the biggest challenge when it comes to like as a distributor or importer was that I always believed that the Korean beauty is there to stay, and it is there to stay. But because 10 years ago it was first like huge trend, everyone wanted like Tony Moly and sheet mask, and then many of the buyers thought at some point that now Korean beauty is going down, and it was a trend only, and now comes Japanese beauty and so on. But so that was kind of challenging to try to convince all the buyers and all the people that no, Korean beauty is not going anywhere. that it will only grow and get bigger and get better. And I think that was one of the challenges, that there was a kind of 3 years ago, 4 years ago, a bit of a people were thinking that it's gonna kind of, it was just a trend.
Yeah.
But no, we have now, I think, confirmed and it's been proven now that it's not only a trend, it's really K-beauty is there to stay, and
It's it.
a lot
Yeah.
of innovations coming up constantly.
Yeah. So what did you do exactly to, I mean, if you don't mind sharing, to get those distributors and buyers to get into getting Korean beauty products to Nordic regions? Is that
How did we do it? Like the 10 years ago, it was something new, and people were super excited, and the buyers were really keen to have them. And now, let's say the last few years, it's been really TikTok and social media that has been really pushing the brands and really pushing the Korean trends. So now we don't need to convince anymore the buyers about Korean beauty. Everyone loves it, and everyone knows some of the brands, and it's not that much more. Now it's Koreans who are doing really great job. But of course, then there's a lot of competition, and we need to find, and of course, it needs convincing to present the best brands and and find the best trends and the most important products. But I think Koreans have done really amazing job and bringing Korean beauty to the world. People are convinced that the products are good.
Yeah, they're very effective.
Yes.
You mentioned Tony Moly as one of the brands that you started off with. So, any other Korean brands that you would like to highlight that are making a big impact on the Nordic market?
Yeah, there are obviously many. So what we have been bringing, like Tony Moly is still big in the Nordics, and Coco Star is one of the biggest sheet mask brands. We brought those 10 years ago. Huxley is one of the brands that we have brought up. We think that I always remember we just before COVID. I have to tell the story. We just before COVID we were invited to meet Sephora Paris, and one of the buyers who tries tens of thousands of moisturizers probably in a year said that tried the Huxley anti-gravity moisturizer. I still remember, as she said, I've never seen this amazing formulation. So I think that was something, but then came COVID, and unfortunately it didn't go further. But that was still all again convincing that the Koreans are really good. Then there are a lot of new brands, like now Farang is something which is really really cool, and now we see that the Korean makeup is growing heavily. So Romand is something springing constantly, like cool, like really classical but beautiful Korean makeup. It's really trending at the moment, and of course there are all the big ones like Cosrx, Beauty of Hoshen, and these which are also like making huge trends and huge sales, Mixoon and so on in Europe. So there are a lot of really really great brands out there, and more to come for sure.
Korea is always coming up with new brands, and they are equally
Yes,
effective. Somehow, they
exactly,
do
and
it
they
so
are
well.
super.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
super fast market, so it's like it's changed so much in 10 years, the whole like cosmetic market, and
yes.
especially when it comes to Korean brands, they are super fast moving.
So, is there some specific way that Nordic Beauty collaborates with these Korean brands to adapt the products to local consumers? Because the skin types are different, their requirement may be different. Climate is the one big factor that is quite different from Korea and these regions. So, uh, do they have special product offerings or something?
um, I think I mean, the only thing is, of course, we have to check that European legislation, that the
Mm-hmm.
ingredients are aligned with the EU is a bit more strict than Korea when it comes to
Yeah.
the regulations. But when it comes to like skincare, I think
Mm.
it fits to everyone really. Like everyone wants glowy skin now, mirror skin, glass skin, all
Glass.
these
Yes.
hydrogel, collagen, all these ingredients that Koreans are bringing. I think it pretty much fits to all. I mean, it's and Koreans are quite the formulations are really like really 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 good. so I think there's not, and people love authenticity. These days, people don't like that. It's for like it can look like packaging, for example.
Mm.
Sometimes it used to be a time like let's try to change the design of the packaging to be more European. No, 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 no,
Yeah.
no. It's more Korean. It looks better. It is. So I think that's like packaging should be as exactly as it is, and only thing, of course, maybe only kind of challenge is a bit in a makeup that
Mhm.
obviously we don't do that much foundations or stuff like this, because we have, of course, in Europe, we have all the shades of from 60 shades we would need pretty much. So they're a bit too light, or very too light shades. Shades, for example, in Korea. So but I think that's also okay, and then light people love to use them because they have hard time again to find foundations from maybe from US brands and so on. So it's okay, but that's the only kind of challenge when it comes to, and maybe some of the shades are a bit too light for Europeans and so on. But otherwise, I think it really well fits, and more and more now when it comes to anyway to makeup, there's a trend towards skinification of makeup and all that, and that's exactly what Koreans are offering. So, and more like natural looks. So that's all good.
That fits in what Korea is offering, yes.
Yes.
And then there are new Korean makeup brands which are working for more inclusivity, giving whole variety of shades than they would do traditionally for a local market. So
Yes,
I've
I'm
heard
sure
about
many
brands
brands are
like
looking
Titter,
into it.
and they have whole range of 40, 50 shades now.
Yeah, okay, yeah. And that's good. That's of course good thing to do, to be more inclusive for all.
So, in terms of regulations, other than ingredients, are there any other differences when it comes to bringing Korean products to European markets? Or it's more to do with that these ingredients are allowed or banned?
Now, when it comes to the translations, the European market is very complex. We have 50 countries in Europe, and as many languages also. So it's in the European Union only like about 32 languages. So um, it's so there's kind of like what we have always, like we need to have 24 languages pretty much in the packaging, in the mainstream kind of market. That's kind of the minimum, so it's a bit hard to get that into the packaging. So there we have always a bit of a challenge. Now there's also a lot of recycling regulations. So Italy, France, Spain are requiring like different labeling for recycling. I really do hope that the European Union is aligning that soon, because if every country starts to ask
Different things.
recycling, it's going to be full of different recycling marks. So I'm really hoping that we will sort that out soon. But that's a bit of a challenge at the moment when it comes to the labeling. So that's something that brands need to take into consideration. And But otherwise, when it's all CPMP registered, the inkies are okay. And now what's coming out now, we have to remember the inkies have been a bit different. Like nowadays, a little bit of a change that you need to really list all the ingredients you have, that you cannot have like an extract. It has to be, the water has to be separately. So to say, you know what I mean? Like that the inky regulation will be a bit stricter in Europe in the future. But otherwise, there's not that much. Most of the products we get offered in Korea by our brands. Most of them we can sell in Europe. We just need to do some labeling and some translations and some extra work, but that's okay.
Having labeling in those many languages itself is a big challenge.
Yeah, exactly. And then again, it's even there are a lot of different countries and customers and different taxation, and it's really complex. But still, there are a lot of like European-wide players, like online, Chalando, Look Fantastic, Sephora, like a lot of players, Douglas, and so on. And that's why, even though it's really complex market, the pricing should be aligned again, which has been, I think, a bit of a struggle for Koreans, that to find right partners to be able to keep up the price management, so that because people can buy in Finland, for example, they can buy the product in Spain or in Germany easily through Zalando, for example. And that's why the pricing in Finland, in the stores who give big space for the Korean brands, should be aligned also with all the online retailers. So it's a challenge, but it's doable with good
And
partners.
yeah, you mentioned pricing now, just now, just to clarify, so pricing is similar in offline and online and comparable to if you were getting it from Korea? Like there are
No,
Korean
the
e-stores
pricing
that
is
ship online
yeah, exactly.
globally.
Korean pricing can be, of course, cheaper because there are all the
Okay.
customs and obviously not that it's not a kind of competitor in that. Like if you're a really really huge Korean fan, you might order products from Korea or you
Mm,
might fly to Korea to buy the products, and of
mm,
course they are cheaper there. That's obvious.
yeah.
But then in Europe, the pricing should be in the same level on a European level because there's so many players that were like sell in every country.
Mm. So it's similar in across the whole European Union.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's almost yes, I would say so. That's how I would how I would manage my brands.
Yeah. So Korean culture is gaining popularity. There's movies, dramas, and now even literature. So do you believe that consumer interest in these products has been impacted by Korean culture in European region?
Of course, I mean all the K-pop and movies and all yes, and TikTok and
Yeah.
of course Instagram Reels, all that is helping also that it's super fun. Like I think world is getting more together, more as one in many ways. Even there's of course different things happening, but beauty brings world together somehow. I don't know. I feel that uh, sure, of course, all the movies, all that has raised interest towards Korea, and people are really excited to travel to Korea, and for sure that also increases the. But at the same time, I still think that when it comes to Korean beauty, the products and the quality speaks for itself. So
Yeah.
it's also been, I have to say, big thank to Kotra. They have done
Mm,
an amazing job bringing all the Korean brands to Cosmoproof, to all the trade fairs around the world, supporting buyers to travel to Korea, to go to Korean trade fairs. All that is also like supporting a lot the Korean makeup and Korean cosmetics,
mm,
getting bigger and bigger constantly. So, of course, it's the culture also, but it is also it is really also the
so
hard work the brands are doing.
yeah. So also then there are since it is K beauty, so there's always something new coming up every year or maybe every 6 months. So are there any shifts in beauty routines or preferences among the European consumers? Like usually it was the 10-step and 9-step routine things were popular in Korea or maybe Southeast Asian market. So do consumers in European region prefer doing all those long routines, or are they just happy to add one or two good products in just to make their life simpler?
Yeah, I think they've learned now. They have learned the steps and they love them. They understand that we need more hydration better.
Mm,
So definitely there are. I think people who used to use only moisturizer, they're using now at least toner and serum also. So some people will do all the even the 8 steps and 9 steps, but I think more it's like it's going towards a bit back towards like minimalistic that maybe
minimalistic.
four, but still it's now like 4 or 5 products, 3 products, and not one. It used to be
Yeah.
like also for some people. So I think
Mm,
people have learned a lot from Koreans, and I think that's great. And I think that it's there to stay. And a lot of TikTok, all these TikTok trends are coming in all the time, and many of them surprisingly come from Korea.
mm,
So all these, glowing skin and even microneedling and all these kind of new things coming up constantly. Those those of course then keep changing the routines and bringing new
yeah.
things to the routines. constantly. But people are more and more aware of taking good care of their skin, I think, than never before.
Can you tell us more about Nobe? Or I don't know, I'm not sure how to pronounce it. Your beauty brand.
Our beauty brand, the Nobe, the
Yes, Nobe.
Nordic brand. Okay, but Nobe and Scandi, we have two Nordic brands, and we believe that we think, and actually those are also a bit fusion to Korea because some of the masks are made in Korea. But we are like, I think every region in the world have their own thing. What they are really good at. I think Koreans are really good in innovation and formulation and all that. I think what Nordics are really good at are like natural formulation, like really natural ingredients, eco-certified, really clean ingredients. And this is what the Nobi is really inspired by, the Nordic nature and the Nordic innovations. And the Scandi also, it's like the first, I think the world's one of the first skincare brands designed for Gen Z, which are actually designed with the Gen Z, and they actually wanted to have natural ingredients. So it's the world's first natural skincare brand designed for Gen Z. So no harsh ingredients and no really big active ingredients. So anyway, so it's all, but it also has some Korean touch into it because the pimple patches and sheet masks are of course done in Korea because they are made best there.
Yeah, true. So, just before we wrap up, if we have any questions from audience, please you can write them in the chat, and I'll take it up with Johanna. And Johanna, any upcoming projects or collaborations that Nordic Beauty is excited about?
Yes, there are many. We are, first of all, this week actually, we are in Milan Fashion Week. We are Noromand and Moira, Tony Moly, Huxley, all our brands, Warang, are actually presented there at the Milan Loves Korea. They have this Korean 4 days, so we are there with all the brands. Yesterday, we learned that in the Swedish Beauty Awards, it's a big kind of award competition in the Nordics, really honored awards, and Hwarang, one of our Korean brands, won the best cleansing balm. Sorry, they didn't win it. No. They got to be one of the top 5 best cleaning products. So they have been finalists, not to win it, but got to be one of the 5 finalists. A lot of things. Cosmoproof, they're super excited. We're going to go there with all the Korean brands. And of course, Nordic brands. We're going to have a kind of Korean beauty, J beauty, and Nordic beauty stand at the Cosmoproof. So we're super excited about that. Many cool things coming up. And we're launching many Korean brands in Germany and in Italy and Spain. And now what I'm super excited about is the Korean makeup, that it's really like getting attention. We got Roman to be in our portfolio last summer, and we are opening now Germany, Italy, Spain, France, and all the stores in Nordic. So a lot of hype, a lot of interest there.
That's good to know. Just curious, so do you directly partner with Kotra, or you have direct connects with the brands?
No, we are with all the brands we're working directly. So then with then there might be a Korean. Yeah, usually we work directly with all the brands. Yes, and of course Kotra is supporting us, helping us. They have. I really need to say that they are doing exactly the right things what the brands need to go global. So they're, for example, supporting us with the stock warehouse and so on. There's things that they support us with, but we work directly with the brands otherwise. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. That's good to know. So I think we don't have any questions. We will wrap up anyways. You have a meeting, as you mentioned. So, Johanna, thank you so much for sharing your incredible insight. It's clear that Korean beauty presence in European market is quite spearheaded by Nordic beauty, and you are making Korean beauty even more available in the region. And to
Thank you so much.
To everyone watching, if you're excited about K Beauty and want to explore these amazing brands, you can check out Nordic Beauty Inc. and stay tuned for their upcoming launches. Thank you for joining us today and see you at our next event. Thank you.
Thank you. Sorry about the video. I'm really
No,
sad that it didn't work.
no problems. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.